Once upon a time, in the middle of a cold, snowy winter, a lonely queen sat by her palace window sewing by candlelight. She pricked her finger with the needle, and a few drops of bright red blood fell onto the white snow outside. She gazed at the color and whispered softly,
"Child, I wish I had a child with skin as white as snow and hair as black as ebony."
Soon after, her wish came true. She gave birth to a baby girl, exactly as she had imagined. They named her Snow White.
"We shall name her Snow White."
But happiness was brief, for the queen passed away soon after. A year later, the king married again. His new queen was beautiful, but her heart was proud and cruel. She owned a magical mirror, and every day she asked,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?"
"You, my queen, are the fairest of them all."
That answer pleased her, until one morning when Snow White had grown more beautiful than the queen herself. When the queen asked again, the mirror answered,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?"
"You are fair, O Queen, it's true, Wade, but Snow White is fairer than you."
The queen's jealousy turned into hatred. She summoned her huntsman and ordered coldly,
"Take Snow White deep into the forest, kill her, and bring me her heart as proof."
The huntsman led Snow White into the woods. When he raised his knife, she cried, "Please, dear huntsman, don't hurt me. Let me go, and I promise I'll never return." He looked at her innocent face.
"Please, dear huntsman, don't hurt me. Let me go, and I promise I'll never return."
"Run, child. Escape and never come back."
"I can't do it. Run away and never come back."
He killed a wild boar instead and took its heart to the queen. Believing Snow White was dead, the queen smiled in wicked delight. Snow White ran deeper and deeper into the forest. Branches tore at her dress. Owls hooted in the darkness. Every sound made her jump.
What will I do? Where am I? Sobbing.
At last, as the sun began to set, she saw a tiny cottage glowing with warm light. Inside the cottage were 7 small plates, 7 cups, and 7 little beds. Snow White ate a little food, drank a little water, and lay down to rest.
So sleepy.
That night, 7 dwarfs returned from mining in the mountains. "Someone's been sitting in my chair. Someone's eaten from my plate. And someone's sleeping in my bed. And she's still here." They gathered around her. "She's so beautiful," whispered one. In the morning, Snow White awoke and told them her story.
"If you stay here and keep our home tidy, we'll protect you."
Back at the castle, the queen stood before her mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" The mirror replied, "You are fair, O queen, it's true, but Snow White beyond the hills with 7 dwarfs is fairer still." Furious, the queen disguised herself as an old peddler woman. "Lovely laces for sale, dearie," she called at the cottage. Snow White opened the door and allowed the woman to tighten a lace around her dress. It was so tight, Snow White fainted. When the dwarfs returned, they found her lifeless. They loosened the lace, and she revived. "That was your stepmother," they warned. "Never open the door again." The next day, the queen tried again. She disguised herself with a new face and carried a poisoned comb.
Now I'll be the fairest in the land. Pretty combs for your lovely hair.
Snow White admired it and let her place it in her hair. The moment it touched her head, she fell unconscious once more. When the dwarfs came home, they removed the comb and she breathed again.
Never, ever open the door to strangers, Snow White.
The wicked queen mixed her most dangerous potion and dipped an apple into the poison. Half red, half white, only the red side was deadly. Disguised as a farmer woman, she knocked on the cottage door. "Delicious apples, fresh from the orchard." "I can't let anyone in," said Snow White. "That's all right, dearie. I'll cut it in half. You eat the red side, I'll eat the white." Snow White took a bite and fell to the ground. This time nothing could wake her. The dwarfs wept for 3 days. They built a glass coffin and laid her gently inside, so her beauty would never fade. They placed it on the mountain, surrounded by flowers. Day after day, one of them always kept watch. One day, a prince riding through the forest saw the coffin. He read the golden letters, "Snow White, daughter of a king." He was moved by her beauty and said, "Please, let me take her with me. I will honor her forever." As his servants carried the coffin, they stumbled over a root, and the piece of poisoned apple popped out of Snow White's throat. She opened her eyes.
Where am I?
You're safe now. Will you be my queen?
At their wedding, the wicked queen appeared, not knowing the bride was Snow White herself. Before leaving, she asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?"
Mirror, mirror on the wall. But the new queen is fairer than you.
Terrified, she arrived at the wedding.
Oh, white? It can't be!
And there, her punishment awaited. She was forced to wear red-hot iron shoes and dance until she could dance no more.
Look at the size of that gate! The princess will love these flowers.
Snow White and her prince ruled their kingdom with kindness and joy. She never forgot the 7 dwarfs who had saved her life. They often visited the castle, always welcomed as honored guests. And so, they all lived, happily ever after.